It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. The action is only moments away, and it's coming up next.
Now from a stadium that sees a different kind of football, EA Sports welcomes you to Allianz Arena, here in the German city of Munich. So good to have you on board with us. Mike Tirico, Greg Olson here in the booth. Greg, in this league, you know it, you lived it. Undergoing a changing of the guard at the quarterback position sometimes can be traumatic, but a lot of times it leads to hope. We've got a couple of teams here with young signal callers looking towards the future.
And you know the old saying, Mike, in the NFL, it is truer than ever. If you have a quarterback, you have a chance. And here we have two teams that feel like they have that quarterback position of the future settled. There's going to be some growing pains. There's going to be some moments where that youth rears its head. But over the long term, both these organizations feel like they have an answer at the most critical position in all of sports.
And their drive will begin at the 30-yard line. This crowd ready in anticipation, their offense taking the field for the first time. They'll be led out by the young man in his second season in the NFL.
They find themselves coming off a win last week that came right down to... The best teams in the NFL, Mike, they can win close games and they can win different style games. You're not going to blow people out consistently in the NFL. The league is just too good and has too much parity. But the teams that are the best in one-score games, they're often the ones finding themselves in the best position come playoff time.
Second down and 8. Maybe a couple there. It's third down. They'll send him over to the left. On third down, they'll set up to throw. He's got his man, right side, it's complete. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35.
Those are the explosive pass plays that this team is going to continue to mine all day. And you can see pre-snap, the quarterback loved his matchup. He allowed his receiver to work downfield, perfect throw, and now sets them up to try to see if they can finish this drive off with some points.
First and 10. Here's a run going left. The hole closes quickly. He'll pick up about 3. They face second down and 7. They'll look to throw. And he takes it down to the 15-yard line. A first down on the scramble. A gain of 16. So we've come to the end of a fairly evenly played opening quarter. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. More of the International Series from Munich after this. They'll turn and hand this one off. And nothing on that one, back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
So often when it comes to safeties, Mike, we talk about their speed and their range. But for him to be able to come up and make a tackle and be physical at the point of attack and keep this ball carrier to no gain, That's pretty impressive.
That is caught to the goal line and in.
And that was just a great drive. Really, from start to finish, Mike, you could see the play caller just really finding his rhythm, mix in run, mix in pass. Results in the touchdown pass, but really everything they did, the entire possession worked to perfection. And you can sustain the drives like that and come away with touchdowns. Man, that goes a long way towards establishing your identity for the rest of this game.
The kicking team off for the extra point. The kick is good. And his guys will take a 7-0 lead. The NFL back in Munich for a second season. Great atmosphere. And off we go on EA Sports. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. So the visitors ready to go on offense here for the first time. They'll be led out by the young man in his second season in the NFL.
Really solid all-around performance last week, Mike, and I think the biggest factor that led to the win is his ability to continue to protect the football. He executed the offense, ran it exactly how they designed all week in practice. Now, it might not have been earth-shattering performance statistically, but they got the win. If he can continue to play that style of ball, it's going to be a tough group to match up with.
Now this offense going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll get together prior to the second down play. Back to throw. He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. He might be fortunate just to avoid the sack. And it'll set up a third down. They're going to motion the tight end over here. Nowhere to get away, and he's going to go down.
Outside of a turnover, this was probably the worst-case scenario. Immediate pressure in his face with nowhere to go with the ball downfield. Just get the ball out of your hand. Live to play another down. Instead, he retreats backwards and leads to a massive loss.
On fourth down, they'll call on Brad Robbins here to punt. Strong. And he'll be brought down. Short return. And they'll take over there. So now, out comes the offense, led by their quarterback as they take over once again. He had the touchdown pass earlier, adding to his season total. You get a look at the NFL leaders in touchdown passes to this point this season.
So as halftime looms, Mike, they have to find a way to capitalize on this drive right here and make sure they end the half with some sort of points. Now, that incompletion, not ideal, but at the very least, it stops the clock. Catch your breath, get back in the huddle, and this next play, it's got to be a gotta-have-it best play call. They just rush that decision just a little bit downfield. I mean, it's one thing to trust your guy to make a play in tight coverage, but I think if he was a little bit more patient in his progression, there was an easier throw out there that wouldn't make him have to throw such a tight window ball and put his receiver in a tight spot.
Now a second timeout called by the defense. Clock will stop just under 30 seconds to go in this second quarter. That is fielded at the 13. And he'll get something there on the return, able to take this back to the 20-yard line. So now this team's offense going to take over just before the half. Before we get to this next drive, I want to take a look ahead what's coming up in prime time starting tonight. Sunday Night Football, two of the biggest surprises from last year in the NFL. Lions and Texans at NRG Stadium. And then on Monday night, it'll be the Dolphins and Rams in Southern California. So, halftime here in Munich in the NFL International Series. As we head back stateside to Orlando, Florida, check in with Jonathan Coachman. The coach has the EA Sports halftime report.
These two teams making their way back out of their locker room, so that means we're just about set for the second half. And to bring it your way, we go back out to Mike and Greg. The second half straight ahead from Munich. And to bring it your way, we'll send it back over to Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Coach, thanks. This one's still anyone's game. We'll see who can come out with the hot hand in this second half. About to get started. They're trying to pin him deep. They'll take this from the 3. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. This offense making its way back on the field, led by their wide receiver. He's been filling up the stat sheet on a weekly basis, hasn't he? You get a look at where he ranks in terms of receptions by a wideout. Set to go now on 1st and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. Now they'll set up to throw. Quick hitting slant there. And they'll whistle him down, but not before it picks up a first down after a gain of 7. Lone back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. And they get this one across midfield to the 47-yard line.
This is one of those cases where having high-end speed in the backfield can be such a game changer. The offensive linemen don't need to hold their blocks quite as long. You give this guy a little bit of a crease, and man, he is gone.
He runs with it. And he's out of bounds, but not until he gets inside the 25-yard line. They'll pick up 23 on that one, and that will be a first down.
This is an element to his game that we don't necessarily spend a lot of time talking about. He's not known as a traditional runner at the quarterback position. But when he has some space like he had here, he is more than capable of not only converting first downs, but picking up big chunk plays.
And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down. They'll work now on 2nd and 4. Throwing now from the gun. Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And he will score.
Mike, we used to have a saying that it was the responsibility of the receiver to run the route through the eyes of the quarterback. And I think this is a great example here. Two guys clearly on the same page. Quarterback expected his target to be in a certain place at a certain time. He's there, ball's delivered accurately. He's able to pick up the rest with his legs, and that's a big-time connection for the touchdown.
Point after, coming up here. It's up and good. And the visitors will level things out at 7 apiece. The NFL back in Munich for a second season. Great atmosphere. And off we go on EA Sports. Now an opening past the 30. And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line. This offense ready for their next possession, led by their running back. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of conversation in that locker room at halftime. They got to find a way to slow him down. Nothing they've done has worked so far. Just refusing to go down. He winds up with a gain of 7. So, points at a premium. Defensive battle so far as we are through 3. Back with more of the NFL International Series after this. They'll run.
I think this second down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a 3rd down and short. But there's no need for 3rd down. He was able to get enough on 2nd, and they get a fresh set of downs.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts left. It's 1st and 10. They'll stick to the ground. And this time they are ready for him. Thrown for a loss. And it's 2nd down.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning 1st down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
And they'll hold them to a gain of just a couple and sets up 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. He's going to look for the home run ball. That one is batted away. Incomplete. No separation that time. Tightly defended. It brings up 4th down.
When this offense took the field, in their mind, Mike, they want to end this game in regulation. You do not want to play for overtime. But now as this 4th down comes up, I think this coach has a decision to make. Do you remain aggressive and keep the offense on the field and try to end it here? Or do you make the safe play and punt the ball away and settle for overtime? So this offense, they think this is a prime opportunity to go for it through the air on 4th down. But this defense was having none of it. Nowhere for the quarterback to go with the ball, no easy completions, and this defense forces a huge stop on 4th down.
This team's offense ready to get back to work. Have a short field ahead as they look to break our tie. It is 1st and 10. Give them 16 there and a 1st down. They still have all 3 timeouts, and here we go with 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll plow forward for a gain of 4 yards. Second and 6 coming up. They'll run here. And he's going to be stopped in his tracks. He'll lose a couple of yards on that one.
You have to wonder if next time, does the play caller give his quarterback some options to check out of this play? It was clear before the ball was snapped. This was not a great look for that play call, and you can see the end result.
Here's a big one. This 3rd down. They'll try to get this one on the ground.
Number 38, ball carrier. Tackle made at the 21-yard line. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 4th down and less than 8.
So, a big one coming for their veteran kicker. This to win the game. Now another timeout called by this offense. They have 1 remaining. So, a big one coming for their veteran kicker. This one he's got to have. So, 4th down, and out comes the field goal unit. This will be a 38-yard attempt. This kick is good. And it's celebration time. A walk-off victory on the game's final play. So the handshake's down on the field following a good win here. And they'll face the prospect of a long flight home to the U.S., but they do it with a victory in their back pocket. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olson and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The crowd not ready to go home yet as we say so long from Germany.